But what if the woman is raped? This is the question we get asked most often, and it's the one issue often used to justify having the 1967 Abortion Act. Most people who ask me this question usually start by saying, I don't agree with abortion for social reasons, but surely if a woman is raped. My first question back would be, but why are you not in favour of abortion in most cases, but you are for this one? People really struggle to answer this because the only reason you can give legitimately to be against abortion is because you recognise it as the taking of a human life. Well, it's equally the taking of a human life even when the baby was conceived in the worst of all possible circumstances, rape. Regardless of how the child was conceived, it's still a child. Understandably, we all feel great compassion for every and any woman in this situation, but it's important that we try and understand why even under these appalling circumstances, abortion is not the answer. There is always an alternative to abortion. Out of what I would see as a false sense of compassion, people often think that abortion would be the answer, but it's not. Some things that we should reflect upon when discussing this issue is that abortion following rape is very rare, because conception following rape is very rare, for some very obvious reasons if we just think about it. Most women are only fertile for about 5 days of their monthly cycle, so won't conceive. They reckon at least 1 in 10 women will have difficulty conceiving anyway, so again that's a factor. Many women will be using some form of contraception, making them incapable of conceiving a child. But even if it happens only very rarely, it is still something we must take very seriously, providing care and compassion, not just instant knee-jerk solutions which can have some very long-term consequences. The other thing people say about a child conceived in rape is that you can't expect a woman to have this child, because every time she sees the child, she will be reminded of the rapist. Well, I think if you understand anything about rape, you'll know that most women need no other reminder than to open their eyes in the morning. They never forget the experience of rape. Getting rid of the baby doesn't get rid of that experience. In fact, it often adds to the trauma. So you have one problem and you have 2 alternative solutions. Adoption is also a possibility. But again, people will often say to me, but you can't expect a woman to carry a child for 9 months and then give it up for adoption. Well, when the alternative is to ask her to kill the baby, then I can, but only if I'm also prepared to be with her every step of the way. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you shouldn't kill the child for the crime of its father. The child and the mother are both innocent victims, and yet they are the ones who will suffer all over again if abortion is the only answer we can provide. And yet again, as so often, the rapist gets away with it.